All right, so our final order of business here is to look at how to create frequency tables and different types of charts in Stata. To create a frequency table, as it showed on the slide just before, you can type in tab and then your variable name. So we'll use the would you rather question as an example. Would you rather kill someone and have no one know, or kill no one but have everyone think you did? You can see how this variable is coded in the code book that's on Canvas. So we've got our variable name here, the question that was asked in the survey, and then also these different categories here. So our kill someone option was coded 1, our kill no one option was coded 2. So that's what will show up in Stata. So we can press enter now. Tab, kill, press enter. And this gives us a frequency table that should look somewhat familiar. So for option 1, which was kill someone, we had 40 people who chose that option, which is about 58% of the sample. For this option 2 here, that was kill no one, but have everyone think you did, 29 people chose that option, which was about 42% of the sample, and we had 69 responses total for this variable. You'll also see that it gives us cumulative frequencies in our rightmost column here. You can ignore those. For a nominal level variable like this would you rather question, they are not meaningful. Stata doesn't know that though, so it spits them out anyway. We can also create a frequency table for another variable. As an example, I'll use the question about police stops. So do tab, stopped, and then hit enter. And as you can see, this gives us another familiar looking frequency table. We have the number of stops that people reported in the survey on the left here. We have frequencies in the next column, percentages in the next column, and then we also have cumulative percentages as our final column here. I mentioned in the slideshow that you could report cumulative frequencies either as counts or as percentages. And so you would interpret this as 70% of the class has experienced 2 or fewer stops in the last 3 years. So that's how you can create frequency tables in Stata. We can also create different types of graphs. To create a histogram, we can use this syntax. We'll type in the word histogram, our variable name, comma, and then the word frequency, which tells Stata to report frequencies. Hit enter, and then we have a nice little graph pop up. So as you can see here, we have our numbers of stops along the x-axis and frequencies along the y-axis. We can also create a histogram in Stata by going over to the graphics option on the toolbar and choosing histogram. To get a histogram, you can type in your variable name into this box for variables. Choose frequency here. This tells it again to report frequencies rather than other options, although you could do it with percentages if you wanted as well. And there are also other options that you could select if you wanted to play with it. So let's say we wanted to have a smaller bars, so narrower intervals along the x-axis on our histogram. We could choose 2, for example, hit OK, and then that'll give us a histogram that looks like this. So now we have narrower bars, but still same components to the graph, stops along the x-axis, frequencies along the y-axis, bars telling us how many students gave each set of answers. We could also create pie charts and bar charts in Stata. So to create pie charts, we can use the following syntax, and this you can just type in if you want. You don't actually, or copy in if you want. You don't actually have to type it out. Graph pie, comma, over, and then your variable name. I'll use the would you rather question as an example here. So here we have a pie chart for the would you rather question with 1 corresponding to that kill someone answer and the blue larger slice, and then 2 corresponding to the kill no one answer and that smaller red slice. You can also create a pie chart using the toolbar, so go to graphics, choose pie chart, and it'll give you a menu that looks like this. You can type in your variable name in this box called category variable, hit OK, and it'll give you the exact same pie chart. Finally, you can create bar charts using Stata, and you can do that using the syntax, which if you check on the slides, it's graph bar space count comma over and then the variable name. So as an example, I'll use the political ideology variable. So type that in. Again, you can be checking all of these variable names on the code book and seeing how they're coded. So here, how do you identify politically, with answers ranging from 1 very liberal to 5 very conservative. And this graph should look familiar as well. We saw on the slides earlier that our most common response was moderate, and we had a few more people on the liberal side than on the conservative side, but a pretty balanced graph overall. Finally, you can also create a bar chart using the drop-down menu. This one is a little bit more of a process for whatever reason, but to get there, you could choose this option, graph of frequencies within categories. Go over here to categories, select group 1, and then type in your variable name. So hit OK, and now we have the exact same bar chart that we just saw. Both those menus for pie charts and bar charts also give you other options you could play with, but for the purposes of this class, I'm fine with sticking with the baseline charts that Stata spits out. All right, so that is your tour through how to create frequency tables and charts in Stata. Of course, if you have any questions or run into any technological issues, please feel free to reach out, and I will be happy to work through them with you. Otherwise, I hope you have a great week, and I will see you again at the same time and the same place.